My title of the story is called I'm All Right by S.E. Schlosser. We knew right from the start that Johnny was going to be a soldier. Even as a child, all his concentration was on the military. So we weren't surprised when he joined the Marines right out of high school. Johnny excelled in his chosen career. He was so happy to serve his country. I could see it in his face every time he came home on leave. He was itching to get into some real action. As a mother, that frightened me. He was my only son. I didn't want to lose him. But he was also a grown man with a wife and a baby on the way. Then came the terrible day in September when everything in our world changed. I knew as soon as I saw events unfolding on the TV that Johnny was going to get the action he so craved. Johnny went to the Middle East and was in danger so many times, but somehow always made it through unscathed. My relief was intense when Johnny came home. I ran to him and almost knocked him over when he got out of the car. I tried to conceal my fear when he told us a few months later that he would be going back to the Middle East. But Johnny knew me pretty well. On his last leave before deployment, he took my hand, kissed me on the cheek, and said, "I love you, Mom. We'll be together again real soon." I held back the tears until he was gone. Then I wept like a child. Johnny's emails on this trip were sporadic and his tone was grim. Things were tough over there, although he didn't say much about it. After he'd been gone nearly a year, Johnny started making plans for his return home. He thought he might make it home in time to celebrate Hanukkah with the family. My husband and I always make a big fuss over Hanukkah ever since Johnny was a little boy. When Johnny emailed us the news that it looked like his tour would be extended, I was so upset. I had my heart set on seeing him for Hanukkah this year, and the news hit me hard. But I kept on smiling, so proud of my little soldier boy. Late that night, I woke up from a deep sleep, certain that I heard Johnny's voice. "Mom," Johnny said. I turned over and blinked in the dim light coming from outside our window. Johnny was standing beside the bed, gazing down on me tenderly. I sat up immediately, my heart beating faster in excitement. Johnny was back. He had come home for Hanukkah after all. They must have decided against a tour extension. "Johnny?" I gasped. He smiled and sat down beside me. He took my hand and said, "I want you to know how much I appreciate you and Dad. It couldn't have been easy raising a 8-year-old boy like me, but you did a wonderful job." Johnny's words filled me with such great joy and a terrible fear. The military had sent him home, hadn't they? Hadn't they? Something in his face told me this was not an ordinary visit. He hadn't just come home the normal way. My heart thundered in my chest and I began to tremble, my limbs feeling heavy, tears springing from my eyes. Johnny said, "I came to tell you that I'm all right. Take care of my girls for me." "We will," I managed to say, realizing what this visit meant. "I love you, Mom. We'll be together again real soon," Johnny said. He leaned forward, kissed me on the cheek, and then he was gone. I fell back against the pillows, too stunned even to weep. My husband rolled over and mumbled, "Are you all right?" I fell back and said, "Something's happened to Johnny. I think he's dead." "What?" he said. I started sobbing then and told him about Johnny's visit. We held each other close for the rest of that long night, waiting for dawn and the news that would surely come with it. Killed in action in the Middle East. It was mind-numbing. I clung to the words my boy had spoken to me in those moments right after he died. Johnny had said he was all right, and I believed him. My son's body was gone, but his essence, his soul, everything that made him my Johnny was safe and was well. And we would be together again real soon. Thank you.